He is 42 years old. He is not even racing a full season. And somehow, he is still the man every driver in the World Rally Championship fears the most. His name is Sébastien Ogier, 9-time world champion, tied with the legendary Sébastien Loeb for the most titles in WRC history. In 2026, he is chasing something no rally driver has ever achieved: a 10th world title, a record that would stand alone. But this story doesn't start with glory. It starts with a driver who, by his own admission, arrived at the season already running on empty. Just months earlier, in November 2025, Ogier had done the unthinkable, winning his 9th championship on a part-time season, going head-to-head with his own teammate Elfyn Evans in a desert showdown at Rally Saudi Arabia. It was, in his own words, one of the best seasons of his career. But greatness has a price. Only 8 weeks separated that celebration from the start of the 2026 season. 8 weeks to recover from years of accumulated pressure, and it wasn't enough. When Monte Carlo arrived in January, Ogier crossed the finish line in 3rd place, a podium on paper. But for a 5-time Monte Carlo winner, it was his weakest result ever in a top-class car at the rally he considers home ground. He didn't hide the truth. He admitted the snow, the cold, the grind of it all. None of it excited him the way it used to. He said the motivation simply wasn't there yet, that after so many years at the top, staying hungry is the hardest fight of all. He skipped Sweden entirely. Then came Kenya, the brutal safari rally, one of the toughest events on the calendar. This time, something shifted. Ogier looked sharp again, running 2nd behind his own teammate Oliver Solberg, fighting for a result that mattered. Then the car turned against him. An alternator failure ended his rally early. No points, no push, just silence on the side of a Kenyan gravel road. By the time the dust settled, the numbers were brutal. 6th in the championship, 40 points behind Elfyn Evans, and Ogier wasn't even entered in the very next round, Croatia, a rally he'd have to watch from home while his rival kept extending the gap. This is the reality of a part-time championship bid. Every rally you skip, someone else is scoring. Every mistake you make, there's no room left to fix it. Most people would have written the story off right there. A 9-time champion, out of form, out of rhythm, and mathematically fading before summer even arrived. Ogier had other plans. At the end of April, the series arrived in the Canary Islands. Fast, smooth asphalt roads cutting through the mountains above Las Palmas. And here, finally, the version of Ogier that 9 world titles were built on showed up. He fought through the entire weekend against the charging young Oliver Solberg, his own teammate, just 24 years old and hungry for his own moment. Solberg attacked every stage of the final morning, closing the gap second by second. Ogier didn't blink. He held his rhythm, refused to panic, and let Solberg's aggression become his downfall. The Swede crashed out on the penultimate stage, chasing a lead that was never really there. Ogier crossed the line 19.9 seconds ahead of Evans to claim his first win of the season. His 68th career victory, proof that the old instincts hadn't gone anywhere. But one win wasn't enough to fix a season already behind schedule. Portugal came next, and Ogier fought hard. But it was Thierry Neuville who took the win, with Ogier left admitting afterward that they'd done the job. But the result didn't reward it. Then Japan arrived, and Evans struck again, extending his championship lead even further. The gap was growing again, and with a part-time calendar, Ogier had fewer and fewer rounds left to close it. Then came Greece, the EKO Acropolis rally, one of the most brutal events in the entire championship. Baking heat, jagged rocks that shred tires without warning, and stages so punishing they've ended championship dreams before. This was the rally Ogier needed, not just wanted, needed, and he delivered a performance that silenced every question about his form. 8 stage wins out of 17, the lead through Super Sunday, the lead on the power stage, a perfect maximum score, 35 points out of a possible 35. Standing in his way for most of the weekend was Thierry Neuville, who had led for days, hunting his 3rd Acropolis victory. But rally racing has never cared about who deserves it. On the second to last stage, Neuville suffered not 1, but 2 tyre punctures, the kind of cruel, split-second misfortune that changes everything. The victory that seemed to be his slipped away, and Ogier seized it. Afterward, Ogier called it exactly what it was, the result he needed to keep his championship hopes alive. But here's the brutal truth behind that perfect weekend. Even after a maximum score, even after dominating one of the hardest rallies of the year, Ogier is still 33 points behind Elfyn Evans in the standings. 33 points on a part-time season against a driver who hasn't missed a single round. That is the mountain Sébastien Ogier is still climbing. Every remaining rally now carries championship-deciding weight. There is no room left for a bad weekend, a mechanical failure, or a single moment of hesitation. Some would say his legacy is already complete. 9 world titles, 68 rally wins, a career that already stands among the greatest in the sport's history. Nobody would blame him for coasting. But Sébastien Ogier has never been a driver who chases what's comfortable. At 42 years old, running fewer rallies than his rivals, carrying the weight of a season that started with him doubting his own motivation, he is still out there, still pushing, still hunting a record that has never been touched in over 50 years of this championship. If he pulls this off, it won't just be a 10th title. It will be proof that experience, timing, and sheer refusal to quit can still beat youth, full-time programs, and every mathematical disadvantage stacked against him. The season isn't over, the gap isn't closed. But for the first time in months, Sébastien Ogier looks like a man who believes he still has one more comeback left in him.